I have a little work to do on this controller. This is what they call starboard side mount. You would normally mount it to the outside surface of the boat, and here you're sitting on the right side, and boom, there you go. I have my seat on the right hand side, but what I do is I mount it on the left side of this controller. I mount it to the side of the seat, and so what I have to do is convert the handle over to the other side, and that's not too difficult, but you have to disassemble things and do some stuff, and we'll do that right now. Fortunately, this unit comes with instructions for repositioning the control handle for port side mounting. This is a view from behind, from the cable end. This is the way that we need it, which is the port side mounting. This is the way that it comes, starboard side mounting. That's looking at the cable going in and mounting to the right side. So we're going to modify it to that. The first thing we're supposed to do is make sure it is in neutral. So there it's in the neutral position. Neutral. And we're going to take off this cap. There's just a protective thing, but this plastic cap. So carefully with the screwdriver, we pop this off. Okay, cap just pops out. It has some tangs. When you put it back on, there is an orientation required. The tangs are not totally symmetrical. It's either got to be that way or that way. There are some little cavities. So it goes on two ways. This one doesn't have a logo or anything on it. It's a no name. The other thing we have to do is there's a little cover right here. You see how that was? You just pull with your thumb. It flexes or hinges down here. So you pull with your thumb right here and it comes out. I don't want to break anything. I had to be very careful and fuss with it. I didn't want to just bend it back and possibly break it. But if you do very carefully pull it back, it pops. And see, there's a little offset there. So when you pull it back, at some point it pops and it's able to lift out. We'll set that aside. Now we flip it over. There is a bolt in here. We're going to remove that. Actually, we're going to loosen it. It says loosen 4 turns. They're very precise about that. Okay. This is a 1/2 inch hex. So we'll see. Yeah, it's very loose. Very loose. We'll say there's 1 turn, 2 turns, 3 turns, 4 turns. Well, I don't know why they say only 4, but... Well, I see. They want you to not completely disengage it from the threads because okay, I've wiped it off. I'm going to wipe this surface just, I guess I could almost save that grease. You don't have to do this, but I mean, I do have some of the Quicksilver grease, which is a waterproof grease. Could use that, but I'm going to save a little bit of this. We flip it over. Don't stress the wires or anything. The neutral lock holder now is reinstalled to this side. And we'll reapply that grease after we're done with this. Yeah. loosen that. Okay. Okay, those screws are driven just hand tight down into the recess and the counterbore, and that's exposed right there for the handle. So the handle's going to go back on top of there. Now if you didn't have neutral trim or any kind of wiring in yours, you'd be done. But right now we have to reroute this wire over to this side. So we're going to remove, okay, haven't removed this yet, but this is coming off. This is now our handle side, of course. I need to keep track of these things. And we're going to remove, so that comes off there. Here's where our shift and our throttle cables are going to attach. You see, here's the wire, freed up. And just so that you know, these screws I removed here and these screws here are all the same length. So I don't have to worry about, hey, these ones are shorter than these or longer than these. They're all the same. Oh, one more screw is staring me right in the face. So carefully remove. You never know what might spring out. Along with it comes the lever. So there's some grease on it. Here's your idle, your fast idle starting position. And then snap back in. Okay. This used to mount on this side and it had to wrap all the way around to the other side. So this cable is too long. So we're going to measure the distance from this zip tie here to the edge of that diameter right there, more or less, or to the square here on the thing, but the drawing indicates somewhere in that little window there, and it should be 3.5 inches. I'm following instructions that came with it. So if you ever got one of these, you'd have the instruction to coach you through, or you could find that on the internet. But so what we're looking for is 3.5 inches, and it would be about like so. So we've got this excess. I'm not going to cut loose this zip tie because everything will go boing, and I think what I'll do is just pull through the excess. And that is 3.5, more or less. So I've got this extra loop here, and I'll just twist it and push it down, and it'll be out of the way. And I'll use this zip tie and tie it down in place. Okay, the zip tie itself is out of the way. The wire is pushed down below flush. The cover will squish that back on. It'll be fine. This little protective thing is going to go back on. Okay, it's going to go like so. Okay, now this cover's got to be reassembled onto the controller, like so. There is a little roller right here. So this is still in the neutral position. There's a roller detent right here that that should still be in position. So that little indent is up, that one's indent is down into the roller, and this roller is right here, and it should go into there, I believe. So we have to make sure that happens. And this is aligned, the screws will go through it. Great, okay. There's a pin right here that fits into that hole right there. Yep, and here we go. Okay. Everything's down flush. It does not feel like I'm pinching any wires or anything like that. Yeah. Okay, this is reassembled and flat down. We'll take 3 of the screws. Okay, this is assembled. It's down. It's not squishing any wires. The pin from is engaged in the rotating mechanism. We'll put that in. Put this in. Put this in. There is a torque specified for this, believe it or not, 4.9 Newton meters, but just do it to what you normally feel would be good with a Phillips screwdriver of this size. And these I already tightened, yes. Everything seems to be good. Okay, we're going to put the handle on. One thing to note is on this cable, we should have the 3.5 inches that we took from here to the wire bundle in there. Note that on the wire bundle there is crimped a sheet metal little protector, and it was bent the opposite way. We're bending it 90 degrees, so it helps the wire wrap around. And there's a little notch right here, and this little divider here, this goes in the notch. And then this will go like so. You notice that there is a notch or a cutout in this cover for the control cable area. It is going to go like so. Okay. And actually it does not go over the metal guide. The metal guide is down here, but it goes over the plain wires. And that will go like that. What I'm going to do right now is grease up the cam. But this is Ultra Slick Permatex. It's about the same consistency. And I will just grease that up like that. Okay, I'm going to put it on. I'm going to retract the handle so that notch is going to drop into there. The square meets the square, and it goes like so. There we go. Now, instinct might first tell you that, oh, this wire going right across this bolt hole is going to cause a problem. It isn't, because your retaining bolt for the handle comes in from the other side down here. We'll do that next. We'll look at this here, the routing on the cable. We'll pull some of the slack through there. You want this metal guide to go through that notch. There we go. That's good. Now we'll put this in here. Yeah, wrong way. It's guaranteed that 80% of the time you have the ratchet on the wrong setting. So, boom, 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 boom. A lot of turns there. Okay, I'm just snugging it. Oops, snug it up. Okay. go. There we are. I'm observing, I'm shifting. The wire is okay. Well, the cover I'm going to temporarily put on, but the next thing we'll be doing is attaching the cables in the boat. But right now this is going to avoid those cables, and it's got metal protection there just in case. The cables will be running that way back and forth. So we're converted to left side or to port operation or port mounting. Port mounting.